just want to thank you so much for doing this with me. It's such an honor. And I definitely have missed you and our friendship. And
I
it's
know.
just so lovely to connect with you in this way and have
Really
you join
lovely.
me in supporting this passion.
Yes, no questions.
My first question is, how would you describe an example from your past that exemplified unhealthy masculine and how it made you feel?
My parents separated before I was a year old. And
Mm.
so I would have visitation. And it was such a, I don't know if the right word is oxymoron, but
Hmm.
with so I call my birth father, my father, and then my stepdad, who stepped in at 6 years old, my dad. But my father was kind of a contradiction because he grew up in a family that was very just that, like manly men. And if you step out of line, you get the fist, you get the whatever,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And no leeway, no room for anything but, doing it one way, the old way.
Mm.
And it was a very, like, hearing stories from my uncle and whatnot, just very toxic,
Yeah.
in what was happening. So I had visitation, and he would pick me up. Now, on one side, he was that very macho ladies man. And then on the other side, he was very artistic and a surfer. But in order to work with his core, he became a ballet dancer and was a natural. And within 3 months was dancing with the Pacific Northwest Ballet. So it was just like this,
Oh my gosh.
without any training. Like, he went to a Parks and Rec course, and the guy there saw him and was like, no, you're coming with us. And he
Oh
said,
my gosh.
yeah. And he had just gone into it as a surfer. But I remember several instances where I was 5, 6 years old, and we were flying to stay with his parents, my grandparents, to go to Disneyland or something like that for the first time. And one instance was on the plane where he was just, as a kid, he's like, when anyone ever asks you what you drink, you tell them Heineken, and like passes me the beer, and I didn't know at the time, but to this day, it's like so clear. And that tied in with cigarettes. At 5 or 6 years old, he wanted me to smoke a cigarette, not to not want it, which made me ill. But,
Yeah.
there was this psychological intention behind it.
Sure.
I don't know how I came across, but I think parents know about their kids and where they might be headed and whatnot. And it was such his intention to man me up.
Oh my gosh. With
And
Heineken
his ways of manning me up were with things that he associated with being manly at the time. Yeah. Smoking and drinking the right drink, and
wow.
Don't let a woman talk to you like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my very first, taste of what's supposed to be a man.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel?
Confused. A lot of emotions, and some of it, going in different directions, like, what would my mom say? That kind of stuff. Where, what, this isn't how I was raised, or how I'm being raised. Even at a young age, you have this sense of what's right and wrong, and what's been instilled in you, even at 5 or 6 years old. And I think that really sets the tone for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
is
I agree.
What you are inundated with.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Yeah.
That really is like kind of that epitome of that like stereotypical man. And I can totally understand why you would be confused. I think you hit that right, like right on the head when you say, like, we do have a deeper sense of self, of knowing of what is right. And so then when you're faced with that information from somebody you love and trust,
right,
and it's conflicting, what a confusing situation. Wow.
Yeah, and I think as a kid, you're in a place where you're pure of heart
Yes.
and pure of intention.
Yeah.
And it's that picture of when somebody is trying to force something that is not of you. Do you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
trying to give you a package, a piece of their baggage and whatnot, and their
Yeah.
realization, and trying to put it in your hands.
Right.
And when it doesn't feel right, that is your intuition, your being
Yes.
screaming out, going, "That's not me."
Yes. Amazing. And you had that knowing. That's beautiful. I mean, it confusing and challenging, but also so beautiful to know that we really come with that inner knowing of who we are. That's
Right.
really, really
Yes.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
And
powerful.
and so now, being the man that you are, how would you rewrite this to exemplify what healthy masculinity would look like in that situation?
That it comes from another experience with my grandfather, my mom's father, who was a military man, um, very, you know, well, I mean, that kind of sums it up, a military man, you know. But, you know, he got out of the Navy and, you know, got into the electrical business. And again, with unions and, you know, electrical linesmen, and they're just that camaraderie and, you know, that kind of thing. But I remember a moment where my grandfather pulled me aside. I was walking down the hallway in their house, and he just said, "I want to tell you something." And he said, um, "Don't ever be afraid of your emotions." And he said,
Wow.
he goes, "The world will tell you that you're weak. The world will tell you that that's not the way to do it." He goes, "But I am telling you, there is power in your emotions."
Oh,
And he said,
beautiful.
"So never fight back, never fight it." And this is a Navy man that we would look over and he'd have tears at Hallmark commercials.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But so much respect. And it was in that moment that I learned. I'll never forget that. It carried me through so much stuff. Um, and in my life, even with the arts and whatnot, is to always be childlike, not childish, in having that open heart and open to receive so much, and open to be authentic in all my emotions.
Beautiful. And what a what a beautiful example of healthy masculinity, because I really hope that people start to rewrite what they think masculinity is, because you
Right.
can be strong and have all the emotions and have the full human experience and
Right.
still be masculine and have
Right.
that beautiful masculinity.
Yeah.
Elijah, thank you so much. This was absolutely perfect and amazing, and I'm grateful for your courage and sharing and your beautiful light. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And yours
Thank you.
shines through.
Thank you for watching Men Rising in Minutes. You can read more on this topic in my book, Men Rising, The Healthy Masculine. Grab your copy on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and please leave a positive review if you love it. And I am wishing you a beautiful day.